Hello and welcome to this little tutorial. I have decided to paint these pears. Obviously I'll put a card up, which will probably be up now so you can see. But I'm just loving the navy blue and the golds together. I'm also going to go in with this palette, which is Sennelier. It's this one, the Pastels a la Ecru. Oh my gosh, my French is terrible. But it's just 30 half sticks. And they've got a lot of sort of like goldy colours in here, and a little bit of blue. So that's what we're going to go in with. I'm going to start with Sennelier 463, which is this beautiful navy colour. I'm working on the Sennelier Carte pastel paper, and let's just get stuck in. So okay, that's too light. Oh, that's also too light. Look at that. That's too. I just decided to use only Sennelier pastels. Well, we'll see how we go. I might pull in pastels from other brands. Oh, hear that noise. Right, I might just also roughly sketch in where I want these pears to go. Give me that little rub in. So this is just a small piece of the Sennelier. I think it's 18 by 23. It's from their pad. Let me just get the pad so I can show you. Here we go. That is the pad, 16 by 24 centimeters. So let's just have a little look where I want. So I got my horizon line in there, and I'm just going to loosely sketch in these pears where I want them to go. Just using a pastel pencil to do the sketching. It's actually a bit closer here. It's just a very rough idea so I can see. Right, I think this is called Indigo. I'm needing some dark grays. It's incredible. This looks almost black, and then you put it on the paper and it's so much lighter than what it appears. But anyway, I'm going to use that. I want to get a gradation of bluey greys and this lovely 463 in there. Rubbing everything into the paper, because these are like golden pears. I think the blue and the gold will work really nicely because they're roughly opposite on the so here blue and orange, so goldie and blue work nicely on they're opposite, so they work nicely. I don't know what I'm saying. It's been a bit of a day, so let's hope this works out. I'm just using some blues from the pastel set I showed you earlier from Sennelier, but I think I'm going to have to bring in some Unison. Let's see, actually, we've got some nice dark blues. No, do you know what? That's what's missing from the Terry Ludwig's, is some nice, very dark blues. Sorry, let me just see. Nah, that's going to be not dark enough. Nah, it's too warm. It's like a warmy grey colour. I'm looking for my grey 13. Hold on. You know what? I'm not going to use Unison. I'm going to just put some more of the 463 in there. Because that grey 13 from Unison is actually quite a warm grey. I mean, I love it, but I think let's try keep this definitely blue and blue greys. Sorry, so my voice still is not normal. I've been ill with cold after cold after cold, basically. So annoyingly, it's still not right. But I mean, I need to get on and actually do some work. This is light grey. As I mentioned, this is all these greys, by the way, are not from the set that I showed you. They're not from in here. We'll do the pears in there. These are just my greys of Sennelier that I've collected over the years. I'm not very good with my numbers, so let me have a look. That lighter grey is number 421. Like, I can tell you which pastels I use all the time from brands, but I don't know every single brand number that I use. I think we need a little bit more of this. And, you know, I'm kind of, it's looking darker on screen than in real life, but I do want this to go a little bit darker. That was just black. That is from the Unison set I showed you earlier. Back in with 463. Go over that black so it doesn't look so harsh. But yeah, I wonder if the Terry Ludwigs do have dark blues rather than dark purples, reds, browns and greens. They must do. Okay, just making sure. Giving that a good rub into the paper. I've got to get my hands clean. Right. Oh wow, yeah, it's still not as dark as I would like. And I've definitely gone more blue. I'm just looking at the reference photo, and I think I do need to add more grey. So just going in with some grey. Again, this grey has also got like a blueness to it. Just to say, if you do need to wet your hands or use a damp cloth, you know, to clean off your hands, to get some of the pastel off, make sure they are dry before you touch this paper. You cannot get this paper wet. It will disintegrate and ruin your whole painting. You cannot bring it back from life once that happens. Okay, now let's have a little look at what I'm going to do next, because obviously the pears are sitting on the table, so it makes sense to do at the table. Yeah, that's too brown. Well, maybe. Okay, this is from Terry Ludwig dark set. And I'm just having a little look. Gonna bring a lovely reflection of the pears down in there. So I don't really want to go all over with this color, because I want to get some of this beautiful pear reflections. It's quite dark in there and in here, maybe. Maybe just a bit of this, just a bit of that here, there. So yes, I am using Terry Ludwig and not just Sennelier as planned, but that's okay. I couldn't quite find the right sort of grey. Okie Minoki. Bringing in a lighter grey. As you can see, I'm being very loose with this painting. Really, really loose. Okay, I'm gonna take some of this blue out of my hands. Let's go in with this lovely brown. First getting all this blue, and then make sure your hands are dry, dry, dry. Now we may need something darker. I'm suspecting we will. This is from the set I showed you. And I'm just, oh yeah, we'll need something darker, but just for my shape, okay, and then it's pretty dark in there. Let's get that in there. Probably need to actually do a little bit more work in the background here. Need to get rid of that line. Oh, not like that. I want to keep the horizon line though. I'm actually taking this other, just fixing that a little bit in there. Okay, this is actually quite dark. I'm going to go in with the black. I'll use other colors on top of that, but I need to get the darkness in there. And over here, the edge of this pear. I do enjoy working on this paper, and I find it lends itself really well to painting in more of a loosely fashion. I find I can achieve that. Okay, now I'm using my pastel. A pear is bulbous and round, right? So I'm actually using my pastel to go round in the shape that the pear is. I'm not sure if you noticed that. So I thought, let me point that out. Okay, now let's go in with a little bit of an ochre color. Let's just see. So there's a beautiful reflection. I'm just looking. We've only used 2 colors, but I'm just feeling out now. I think we need something darker in here. So I'm going to, I think I've got some nice dark Senneliers. Let's have a look. Got everything laid out here. Let's have a look. What is this one? This is Sennelier number, oh my goodness, sometimes it's so easy to see the numbers and other times it's not. Sorry, pass. Can't see the number. And I'm just kind of glazing that. You know, we're even going to need to go darker than this. Why don't we take a little bit of, hey, Terry Ludwig's. What is a girl to do without this set? Honestly, I can't paint anything without this set, can I? Once you have these, they become so dependable on them. Well, I do anyway. And I always try and fight it. Like, no, I'm going to use all Sennelier. And I don't have the entire Sennelier range. So I'm sure there are some beautiful darks in there. I need to actually go on a hunt and find some. I just thought these are dark greys with the background I bought quite recently. And they look almost black. But going onto the paper, they are just not. So that's why I just ended up using black. But yeah, I thought I had got some nice, really dark Senneliers, but yeah, but no. Okay, this is pretty dark in here. I'm gonna go back in with this black. This is black, Sennelier is black. I'm gonna reiterate this little wonky pear. Okay, and then it's pretty dark. That's giving, you know, the shape, the gonk shape that goes in a bit there. I don't know if gonk shape is a word. actually probably definitely not a word. Something about this I just got rid of. Let me just have a look. So what I also do is I have a printout. Okay, this is totally different. My pear is way bigger than the printout, so forget that. But I'm just trying to see the shape here. I've gone pretty fat with this guy over here. Okay. I'm still wanting these marks to be darker, but you know what, let's go in with, this has like a reddy content in it, almost like a maroon content. And then this has got a lot more, you can actually see the red in there, but I can see some red here and I can see some red over here. So just having a look at the reference photo and translating that onto my paper in terms of color and what I can see. Okay, now why don't we zhuzh up this red a little bit and put a little bit of orangey sort of color in there. So that tones right down, but it gives it that something, which is what I'm needing. These little half sticks that I'm using, they're all from the set that I showed you earlier. Okay, I'm really hoping this line disappears. I need it to go in a minute. I want like goldy. I just wanted to see if this is the right sort of goldy color, because you can see a bit of that throughout the skin of the pear as well. And we're definitely going to come in with highlight. But I'm not going to use, I don't know, I think I might use I don't know, let's worry about that when I get there. No, that's wrong. It needs to have a lot more gold. Let's bring this round. It needs, oh look at me, here I come with my Blue Earth Pastels. I need this to have more like a goldiness to it. Right, let's see, what can I do for that beautiful highlight? I think I definitely want to keep it blue, because this is gold, and keep the gold and blue going. So I'm just getting my Sennelier blue box. Shall we wish this over and see how that looks? Okay, I've come too far over here. Needs to zhuzhy it up a little bit. No problem. We'll go in with my trusty highlight set from Art Spectrum. This is Art Spectrum Extra Soft highlight set, and that is the bluey one. Okay, Minoki. Obviously you can still see this line, but don't worry, we will come to that in a sec. She says, hopefully. is also a Blue Earth pastel. I love the Blue Earth pastels. They are just a dream to use. Honestly, they are just incredible. I'm just skimming over and building up the skin of this pear. Okay, I think I must come down here, do a little bit of work on the table. Obviously we can still see that line going through. Geez, how's that? Oh, didn't realize that it was so potent. I mean, it's just pastel pencil, you know, but it is wanting to make its mark. Okay. It's like I'm sticking around and I'm like, go away. I really don't want you to stick around. Okay. Let's go. This is just the Terry Ludwig. Okay, shall we move on to this pear? That one there. No, we shall not just yet. Do you know what I need in my life? Is an extremely dark brown. All the browns I have, they're just not dark enough. So look at that. It's just not dark enough. Little pear stick. I don't know what you call it, a pear. Yeah, also what I'm missing is like more sort of gold. What about this orange? This is also Blue Earth. I could just see it's actually more of a gold, like, let me just bring out my Sennelier yellows and golds and see if we've got something a bit more gold. No, that's too, no, it's wrong, because it is pretty goldy in here. No, these needs more warmth to it. No, these are all wrong. That is why you need to buy 1,000 pastels. I should say thousands of pastels. I never need an excuse to go out buying pastels, that's for sure. This is a Mount Vision. I'm bringing, no, they're not enough red content. Maybe, you know what? Let's take some of this. Not enough red. Down here also need a bit more brown in here. So let's get some brown. I just want a bit more of this color up in here too. This is a brilliant color. As you can see, I've used so much of it. It is Y4A. Blue Earth. And this is like a, no, it's too dark. It's like an ochre colour in here. That's too light. Well, this is fun. I didn't realise it would be this tricksy. Oh, let's see. Shall we see this one? Yeah, that's good. That's another Blue Earth. It's Y2A, that is. Okay, let's stop fiddling and faffing it out. I just need like a zingy yellow. I need like something. No, not warm enough. I need like cadmium yellow orange or something like that. Bringing out my box of Unison yellows. Seeing, are they gonna do it for me? Are they gonna, it's also quite singy. Are they gonna give me what I need? Nah. I know, let's go into Unison Red Earths. Let's try get some of these. No. Wow, okay. Who would have... I definitely did not think this would be so tricky to capture the colour of these pears. It is proving quite a task. Alright. Let's move on to the next pear, shall we? Okay, so this guy, let's just, he's got a nice shape on him. It's really dark in there. Okay, it's black. Sorry, I'm just bouncing a little bit where I can see. It's actually darker in certain parts. Okay, now these, it's got some few dents in, and up here actually the little stalk, let's just do that for now. Then let's get my Sennelier greens. I am really trying to stick to my plan of Sennelier. Look at that. Oh. That needs to be a little bit. I like that colour. I'm going to bring that a bit in here. A little bit. And I'm going to bring that a bit down there too. And a little bit in there. And over here, okay, let's get this in first. It's beautiful red down the side. Actually almost goes into like a bright orange. So I'm basically just using the same colours for the other pair that are in my little tray here, with a few exceptions. Like I'm going to bring in a lot more of a pinky red sort of colour, and at the bottom there it looks more like, I can see it's a different sort of yellow. try one of these. These are, no, that's too, yeah, these pears are definitely very warm in tone, meaning they orange. They're almost like a yellow orange. So I'm just trying to find the right sort of tonal value and colors, really. Okay, Minoki. Okay, so I've kind of been hunting for some warmer. Oh dear, these are the Jack Richardson. They don't even make a. They don't even make a mark. I'm definitely lacking doing these pears. I am lacking in the gold department. Or I feel that is what is lacking, seriously. But let's see if I can pull these together. There's all these little skins. I don't know what it is, but just nothing seems dark enough to me. I'm like, what's going on? Is my eyes going all wonky or what? Nothing's dark like I want it to be. Okay, maybe put those on after. I'm going to put a little bit of that here actually, and a little bit in here. And I went over with that green, but I feel like it needs to be darker. And I hope I suddenly remember, oh, I've got this amazing colour that will be perfect, and it's the exact colour I'm looking for, because that has not happened yet. Oh dear. I find when I work on the Sennelier, the Carte pastel paper, I'm more heavy-handed. I don't understand why, but when I work on the pastel mat, I seem to have a lighter touch. But right now, and on this Carte, I'm like, why do I suddenly go into extreme, like, I have a heavy hand naturally, it just happens. Okay, I'm still on the hunt for the right sort of colours. Okay, now shall we, oh, that's crumbling, put this incredible pinky red. It's just doesn't seem to have a dark red in that one. Oh dear. Oops, it's gone a bit skew, hasn't it? There we go. Just gonna melt those more in together over there and over here. Lovely. See, so that colour we've got, and I can see more of like an acidy yellow, if that makes sense. What do I mean by like a not as warm yellow? Over here, certain parts of the pear, maybe a little bit here on this little guy. The paper isn't really taking more layers. Over there, that's me and my heavy hand. Yeah. What do I mean by heavy hand? I mean I'm pressing quite hard with my pastel and I'm putting quite a lot of pigment down. That's what I mean, heavy hand. Do you know what? Ah, that's the wrong. I'm thinking I want a bit more orange just down at the base here, and a bit more in here, and a bit more on top here. Let's bring this orange a little bit here and a little bit in there. There's a little bit down here too. Okay, let's work on this little bit of the pear reflection. Just wanted to see. The 463 isn't exactly the color I'm looking for in the background. Anyway, okay. Terry Ludwig. Just more on this table here. I like, as I'm sure you can tell, using my finger to rub the pastel into the paper. And so it's quite nice that this the card doesn't eat your fingers off. So I quite like that. I can really still get in there, you know, with my fingers, which is a positive for me. Okay. I think because I like a smooth, no sharp edge sort of look. However, I am leaving these, wanting to create lots of texture on the pears. So that's why I'm not rubbing in with them. And this is, pastel card's good for that because it does leave this texture behind. Okay, so let's move on to this one, which is even, oh dear, do I just have what it takes for these colors? I don't know. Okay, let's start. Let me just sketch out again. We don't want these to be aligned. That would just look a bit strange. So I went a little bit further down. Okay, and then that's pretty black in there. Okay, I think this little guy needs to be a little bit thinner. So what I'll do, I'm going to go back in with some of the background and take a bit off there. Just like that. Oh, don't want to leave that in there though. Okay, Minoki. Oh. It's always a good idea to step back from your work, take little breaks and see how it's looking. Because over here, maybe a little bit better. A little bit. We need a bit more pear here. There we go. This is like let's see if I can get this brown. Okay, I might just use this. This is also, I mean, I don't see as much red in this pear, but I quite like the red. It's actually got a brown that isn't quite as red in this pear. So maybe I should bring some of that in for a little bit of variation from this one. This is also just a Terry Ludwig. And as you can see, this dark compared to this one is a lot more red in this brown than this one. And that's what I can see in here. Okay, I think we may have to take this pear off the page there. That's better, so we don't get the whole doodah in there. It's pretty dark over here actually, so I'm just going to do that. It's pretty dark in here too. And here. Okay, this is just the brown. That earlier was black. Maybe we should take some brown. Is there a lighter brown? In the Terry Ludwig, there is. It's one I use all the time. That typically, there it is. As you can see, it's quite small compared to the others. It's just such a neutral brown. I love this brown. I use it quite often. But I'm going to bring some more. I'm just kind of dotting this color around to create the texture of that pear. Okay. What am I looking for? This is a Sennelier. I can just see, obviously this pear is reflecting onto this one. So I can see quite a lot of red on this side and a bit of it over here. I'm actually going to put a little bit of that in there. Okay. Right, so we need like a dark ochre. Look at me looking around again. I wonder if this will do it. So this is a Sennelier 458. Come through for me, girl. Oh, yep, that looks good. That looks good. Very good. Yes, lovely. I might even put a little bit of this in the other pear. Okay, so now I've lost the darks in here. I can see. So I'm going to have to go back in there and just put them in, aren't I? So I'm not being smooth with this because I'm wanting to create the texture of the pears. So yeah, that's not even as dark. Can you believe it? That's a Terry Ludwig dark, and it ain't. It's any darker than that. I wonder. Nah, this might. Maybe. it's given it a little bit of something something, and we've used this colour on the table and in the background, so it's quite nice to add it into the actual subject as well to bring a bit of harmony in the painting. I'm just not happy with the colours in this pear, so the other two I am, but I kind of struggled with this one a little bit, so I'm going back over. This is a Terry Ludwig red that I'm using. I wonder, let's bring a little bit of that in here. You know what, I'm going to bring black in there too. Okay. Right, let's start lightening up this little guy, shall we? Blue Earth Pastels. Let's put a little bit of this one in, which we've used in both the other pears. I need a little bit more of a fade to go on here. A little bit of a glow happening over there. Get my finger in over there. Hopefully not mess it all up. But hey ho, it might. It's not the end of the world. You know, if I happen to not like something, whatever, I definitely learned a few things doing this. So nothing is wasted. It's the way I see it. I may not have worked out the way I wanted it to, but that's okay. Put a little bit of hair reflection. And this one here too. With the table I am rubbing in because I want it to look smooth, like a smooth table surface. I need to fix up this line over here. Put all that back in there. I think I'm going to use some of this. This pear needs to be darker here. There we go. And where's that black? Okay, I need to fix this line over here. This is quite bright, like, well, that might be okay actually. Let's bring a bit of this yellow into this pear over here. Maybe sometimes less is more. So what I'm trying to tell myself to know when to stop, and if I am happy with the way it's looking, to just stop and not continue. That is what my brain is saying at the moment. This actually breaks up a little bit in there. This is just a Mount Vision pastel that I'm using. Okay, so this is too harsh. It's too much of a solid line going on there. And I haven't really been happy with the colours. They're just not what I'm needing at the moment. Just needing something with a lot more reddy sort of ness. I actually can see a little bit of red in here. Let's add that in there. This is the Terry Ludwig that I've used throughout, the other two as well. This is Sennelier. It's not from the collection of half sticks that I showed you earlier. He's got quite a few of these marks over here. I don't want to leave the stick solid brown, black either, even though it is very dark. I'm going to add some brown in there and highlight. Highlight in here, little one over there, and this is quite, that actually went purpley, didn't it? I'm just kind of tapping my finger around here. Bringing that shadow, kind of melting the two in that part over there. I'm going to bring a little bit of this bluey sort of colour that I used in the background. It is a Sennelier, and I'm rubbing that in. Oh, look at that. That's what happens. That's what happens when you don't have clean fingers. Do you see that? Yep, I'm sure you do. That's what happens. Make sure my hand is really dry, as I've said a million times, because this paper, she not like wet. It has to have dry. If you get, oh my gosh, that really was a mess up, that one, wasn't it? Whoa. If you get any moisture on here, it disintegrates. So yeah. Okay, Minoki. Let's just go in with some of this, shall we? 463. And a little bit of this dark grey that I used. Make sure your finger's clean. and just rub that in. Just wanting it to melt a little bit more into there. I think I'm going to make this little sticky here a little bit brighter. And maybe bring that in here. And bring that in there. And there's a few little bits here too. And in here. I'm just patting it in as well, so it doesn't stick out too much like a sore thumb. A bit like this one here. So let's get a little bit of that and tone that down just a wee little tad. And let's just fix that. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going around the piece and making tiny little changes. Things I feel don't look very great, or I can look a bit wrong. I can just go ahead and make the small little changes that I feel I want to. Yeah, this pear just got away from me. I've toned that down a bit with more of a yellow. And this is like a line over here. And I think we need a little bit more yellow in here. Possibly a bit in there too. Oh man, this is what they say. Get your finger out, Candy, get your finger out. The last moments of the painting, perhaps it's a good idea to not have your fingers in there. But anyway, I'm just gonna, it's looking a bit liney or something over there. Alright, gotta fix this, where I stuck my finger in and messed it up. Just watching the shape there. I think this is just, I need to knock that back. It's just a little bit too bright. But I think, no, look at me, I was just about to say, I think this piece is finished. But no, that looks better. And this is also, there's, where's that colour? Let's just do that. No, this is too close. Needs a little bit more dark in between the actual reflection. Get all the yellow off my finger because I definitely don't want that in there. And now we can zhuzh up these highlights just a tad. In here. And in here, it's this side. And a little bit in here. And get your finger. And mush it in. Again, I'm going to come in with a little bit of this color in between. It's the dark grey that I used in the background. And we can just go in between there. And I think these needs a little bit of variation, so a little bit more with this goldy brown colour. And I think it needs a bit more brown, like reddy brown. Where's that lovely red brown from Sennelier? Where are you? Maybe just a bit more of this then. This is brown Terry Ludwig. If you feel like you've gone a little bit too much. You can always just bring it back in with some darks. There we go. So I've had a moment and I'm like, no, I want to punch up and put a bit more highlights in here. So I've chosen blue. This is also a Sennelier, but I just felt like it was missing something. I know this is just a quick study, but you know, let's put in some highlights. And so that is what I'm doing. So I'm laying the pastel onto the paper and I'm just tapping in. I can see a few like here, there, a little cluster around here. Maybe a little bit more up in there. I'm dotting away in here as well. There we go. Just, I think it needed just a little finishing touch of something. That needs to be a bit darker. This is the issue. You could go back in and change everything and then, you know, you'd prefer it the way it was before, but it needed something. I wasn't happy. In here needs to be darker too. So that's why I say step away from your work. Have a look at what you've done. After a little while, come back. See, is there anything you feel you need to change? This is really dark in here. But then let's go in with, where's that beautiful bright red? Because there are parts where this is just popping. And over here. I actually need like a, wonder how this will do. No, it's not really dark enough. Now I'm looking for a very dark red, but not as dark as that red. See, look, I came in to make a small change for highlights, and I am making other changes. Maybe this one won't be as dark. This is a Unison that I am using. Maybe it's too browny. Yeah, it's too browny. I definitely need a dark red. Okay, got a Unison dark red just in there. And a little bit of that in there. Okay, so you can see my line there is a little bit messed up, so I'm going to just go in there with the dark. There's actually 2 dark dots here. You can actually see quite a lot of little dotty marks. We don't want to go too ham, meaning not get too excited and go all dotty, but perhaps just adding a few would help. And also need more yellow in here. There is where these dotties are. Something a bit warmer. I'm also dotting this around and in here. This colour, honestly, it's just magical. It's beautiful. Then just take my finger, because I don't want it to be dotty per se. You can actually see, because of my pastel, it's made strange horizontally sort of lines. Definitely don't want that. So just let's get rid of that. Try get some dotty dots. I mean, the idea of this is not to go too heavy detailed. It's just a study of these pears. And I might just take this, because it's more yellow. Over yellow, really. Yeah. Okay. Right. No more touchy. Maybe just a little bit. Maybe just a little bit, because I'm not happy with this guy. This guy, no. I feel like I just need a bit more something in his skin here. I'm not happy with this pear. This guy, I'm not happy with him. Okay. And then where's this lovely yellow? Let's bring a little bit more of that in there. Maybe just scumble him along. Yeah, I suppose that's looking better. perhaps maybe, and I can actually see there's a mark here that's actually quite red. Okay. This is Terry Ludwig, by the way. I mean, you can just see pear dots all over this guy. He is like one dotty pear. Also, actually, still looking for an extremely dark but that's fine. This has got a bit of a purpleness to it, which isn't exactly what I was wanting. In between these little highlights, let's just okay. Because I'm using the side of the pear, of the stick. It's making lines instead of dots. Right. Finito, catito. That's it. Done.